What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. I'm headed up I-44 toward Illinois, going through Missouri here. And I wanted to make a video today to talk about cryptocurrency, okay? So let's talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and Ethereum in particular, and my thoughts on it and why I've started to invest in it at this point, okay? Before we get started, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a truck driver driving across the country, researching and trading stocks, and I will not be held responsible for any moves you make in the stock market, not ever. I am not your mama. Do your own research, make your own decisions, and take responsibility for those decisions, guys, okay? Now, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button for me. Help the channel grow, help us do well here. Hit that like button. The more of you that like the video, the better it gets pushed out to others. And leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think, all right? Also, we have a Patreon that you can join to support the channel. The link is down in the description below. And all the money from the Patreon and the YouTube goes into an M1 finance account that we've recently started, and will go to support my retirement. These big, rich YouTubers don't need your money. If you want to support somebody like me who needs it, so I don't end up living under a bridge when I'm 70, all right? So let's talk about cryptocurrency, all right? I know there's a lot of different smaller cryptos, Dogecoin, all that stuff, but my focus is on the two main ones, Bitcoin and Ethereum, all right? So obviously, we've had this big drop in Bitcoin and Ethereum recently. Now, as an investor, I believe in Warren Buffett's statement of be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. And the essential takeaway from that quote is when everybody is saying buy, crypto, and it's going up and up and up and up, and it's real high, this is not the time to buy. This is when everyone is being greedy, and I was fearful during that time, and I did not start investing. I have been watching crypto for quite some time, waiting for an opportunity to start building a position. But now, everybody has been sell. It's going to 20, it's going to wherever. And now everybody is fearful, so I am being greedy and I'm building a position in these currencies, okay? This is how I approach investing, and this is how you make money as an investor. Whether your view is long or short term, you wait for these fearful time periods when things are dropping for artificial reasons that are just based on fear, and you capitalize on that and wait for the stock or whatever the asset is to come back up. Okay? So, of the two main cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum, I am more bullish on Bitcoin. Now, I do think that there is a very real possibility that Ethereum could end up doing better than Bitcoin over the long term, okay? But I'm not a very long-term investor, and Ethereum is something that is fairly difficult to wrap your head around. So I'm going to try to give just a very simple breakdown of Ethereum, how it works, and what makes it valuable in a way that hopefully is not confusing, okay? So Ethereum is actually the blockchain, okay? Ether is the currency. It costs Ether to do things on the Ethereum blockchain. So in order for this blockchain to be used for different things, a blockchain, which is a giant group of computers, okay? In order for Ethereum, for you to do something on the blockchain, you have to pay in Ether to get what they call gas, okay? You have to pay for things in Ether. So the value proposition basically is with Ethereum that the more the blockchain is utilized, and as they find more things that it is useful for, the more Ethereum, the more Ether will be worth. So it is very contingent on what eventually arises that the Ethereum blockchain is going to be essential for, okay? And I've heard some people talk about how we know it's going to change the world, we just don't exactly know how yet. And that seems to be very true, okay? So there's more risk involved with Ethereum, because what if that grand use for it never materializes? Or what if it takes a really long time for it to materialize? As it stands, Ether, or we're just going to say Ethereum, usually just kind of tracks what Bitcoin's doing, okay? It's not really on its own yet as far as having this big use case for that blockchain. They seem to be kind of creating things specifically so they're using the blockchain, like NFTs, etc. So I think that as far as the two currencies are concerned, there's more risk in Ethereum than there is in Bitcoin. I hope that was an explanation that you can more wrap your head around. Ether is the currency on the Ethereum blockchain. So when this giant use case finally emerges, Ethereum will rise very much in value, become more valuable, okay? But right now, it kind of just tracks along with what Bitcoin does. We haven't found this huge use case for that blockchain yet. But it very potentially is coming, okay? Now, Bitcoin, on the other hand, is a scarcity model. When it was created, there was a limit set of 21 million Bitcoin. That is the maximum number of Bitcoin that can be mined. When they mined Bitcoin, it was easy to mine in the beginning, and it's basically kind of like solving math problems, and the math problems get harder and harder and harder as it goes along. So it becomes harder and harder to mine the more of it gets mined out. Of these 21 million Bitcoin, almost 19 million have already been mined. So it is now much more difficult to mine them, and when it is completely mined out, that's it. That's all the Bitcoin that can exist. This is why they compare Bitcoin to gold. Okay, they say it's digital gold because gold is the same thing. It's a scarcity model. Only so much gold exists, therefore it gives it inherent value, and the more it is used, the more it is bought and sought after, the more it becomes worth. And it is what they call a hedge against inflation, which means the more money is printed, in theory, the more money it costs to buy this asset, because no more of that can be printed. So as the money becomes worth less, the asset becomes worth more. And this is the theory behind Bitcoin. And some of the detractors say, well, what does it do? What is it backed by? Well, I mean, think of it this way. What does gold do? What is it backed by? I mean, so sure, there are uses for gold, but it's not tied to currency anymore or anything like that. So it's not much different, okay? Now, Bitcoin, everybody talks about it being used as a currency. Well, currently it's not a good use for Bitcoin because it's so volatile. You may buy a stick of gum for $1 this morning, and that same stick of gum would have cost you $5 this afternoon. You know, so it's not a very good model at the moment for a currency. But the further along we go and the more investments are made and the more it is mined out, the more the value will eventually stabilize. So Bitcoin is a scarcity model. Ethereum is a use case model. So there has to be uses for that blockchain in order for Ethereum to become more valuable. And so far, they have not found this massive use case for it yet. That does not mean that it will not happen. But as far as which one is the safer investment, I think Bitcoin is a safer investment. So I'm focusing more heavily on Bitcoin and less heavily on Ethereum. I am buying both. Now, I'm not a rich guy. I don't have a lot of money to throw around. My accounts are relatively small. Join the fucking Patreon. But I am putting, at least right now, a pretty fair amount of money in it relative to my account. Okay, I'm working on building a position in both coins in Webull and positions in my Roth IRA in the Grayscale Ethereum Trust, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which are basically the only things I can currently buy in that Roth. However, ETFs are said to be coming soon, maybe the end of this year, beginning of next year. We should be able to buy ETFs based on these coins. Now, especially in the case of Bitcoin, this is going to be another way that these coins get locked up and increase the value, because these ETF, these funds, will have to buy Bitcoin and hold it, and the prices of the ETF will be based on how much that goes up and down. So as we lock away portions of Bitcoin, it becomes more scarce and therefore becomes more valuable. This is the scarcity model, and it's what I like about Bitcoin, all right? I, have thrown a pretty big price target out there. I think it will hit 90,000 before the end of the year. I could be right or wrong with that. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a financial advisor. I do think that we're going to get up there before the end of the year. I don't think we see 20,000 in these levels. And if we do, I think it will come back up relatively quickly. I don't think that we're going to be in this crypto winter for years or anything like some people talk about, because the cat's out of the bag, and it's only a matter of time before more and more institutions start putting money in there, which locks more of it up, which raises the price, etc., etc. So I think that now is the time to be buying Bitcoin. Okay, I think that these prices, now is the time to be buying Bitcoin, or to be at least nibbling at it and starting to build a position if you have not already. That's my thoughts on it. That's my view on the matter, okay, is that now is a really great time to start building a position in Bitcoin. Pick it up at whatever price you can pick it up right now. Sure, try to average down, try to get your cost base as low as you can, but I really feel like anywhere in this area that we're at right now is going to make you a bunch of money if you hold it for a long time. Now, I'm not going to hold mine for a real long time, but I still think that just in the next year or so, it's going to make me a lot of money. So we're going to find out. I just wanted to make my first real straight up crypto video. If you guys are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. Help me grow. I'm going to be talking more about crypto going forward. And like the video. Leave me a comment below. Educate me. I'm fairly new to these coins. So, let's hear what you guys say in the comments below. And consider supporting my retirement and supporting the channel by joining the Patreon in the description below for whatever amount you can afford. Cup of coffee a month, whatever you can afford to help grow my retirement. And I appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.